Hello, I would like to talk about Graveyard Shift. I got Graveyard Shift a couple weeks ago, number 4, and then I've collected every issue since the beginning. And I'd like to give a recap. This is Graveyard Shift number 1. John Malin and Mark Polton. They've known each other for several years, and Malin started off at Extreme Comics. He went on to do various things, and then he was at Marvel. He ended with Cable, and then he became Comicsgate. He was one of the original people that started it with Ethan Van Sciver, Cyberfrog. He was the artist for Richard C. Myers' Lost Souls. If you haven't read Jawbreakers, that was the first book that he started with, and one of the original 2 books that started this whole thing that people now call Comicsgate. This book is his own story with Mark Polton. This is beautiful art. You can tell John Malin has excellent art skills. And I won't spoil it for you with a lot of things. But basically, I'll show you some of the art. The gist of the story, and I take care of my book, so you can see the art is beautiful. You can see the various pages. You can look at the various characters. You have Lilith. You have Vlad. You have what I call the Frankenstein monster. It's Malin's take on the universal monsters. But in this world, you have scientists that were experimenting with different types of gene therapies and trying to find a way to bring about immortality. We all know how that works out. Right here you can see that he was a vampire. So is Lilith. Look at that beautiful art. Now, when you look at the story, both Vlad, he basically became a vampire through the blood they used. Lilith became a vampire because in the story, which I'm not going to ruin, and they were left for dead. They became what they were creating. At the corporation that created everything, they killed them for no witnesses, and wanted to make sure that everything happened according to their plan. Why am I being vague? Because I want you to read this book, which is freaking amazing. Now, John Malin, which I asked about, he allows all of his books to be available each time he launches a campaign. In September, October, he's going to watch Omega Stone, which is a book for Graveyard Shift, and you should be able to get the other books. So, I don't want to spoil it for you. Just know that when you look at this page here, they're in human form. They're remembering the past. You see, he starts with them already changed. But you see, look at her human form. Beautiful art. Now, this is the experiment they're working on. They're creating what they consider super soldiers. You look at the different types of things going on, and then one of the super soldiers goes haywire, ends up killing Lilith, and that starts the whole story. Now, I want you to buy this book, so I won't show you any more of this amazing book. But to give you a show, this is what's called a supplemental. Supplemental is a story, secondary story within the book. As you can see, there's the main story arc, and then there's additional story. It's all about some people that do bad things, but they also try and do other things. You could think of them as anti-heroes. Not everything is for the right reason. You have humans, you have all kinds of different creators and creatures. I say different creators because you'll find out in a minute just what I'm saying. So, now, when you look at Volume 2, which is this book, this is John Malin as well. My personal opinion, John Malin was the best artist. He created it. Al Fecci, which is number 3, volume 3, he is the second best artist. I'll show you some of his art in this book. So, I'm just doing this quick review to show you, and I'm more than happy to open up books and show you work and what's going on. See, this is Al Fecci's work, without spoiling a lot. There happens to be a werewolf invasion and a lot of kicking butt. Now you see how Al Fecci has his own style, but it's similar to Malin. Clean lines, beautiful art. Al Fecci is a consummate artist. You can see, look at those muscles, the details. Now, when we move on to the regular book 3, it's this one. This is a variant cover. So, and then there's this one. And then I have book 4. I have the Huerta cover as well, but I didn't bring that out. So, here's book 4, right here. Now, I'll quickly show you this as well. Finding the back of the page to open it. It was put in backwards. Don't you love these self-sealing So, this is chapter 4. This is by Polton and Garcia. John Malin was able to basically do a lot of script writing and working on the story, but he's not an artist on the book he created anymore. He's working on Godlike, the Romulus sagas. So, this is him. Can you see the difference in art? It's good art, good story, but you can tell by the faces, this is more anime inspired, more manga-like. Some like that better. It's good art. I'd still buy it, but I have to say, I much prefer Malin and Alfeci. Nothing against any other creators. Each story tells a story of the graveyard shift battling against those other creatures that go against them. This is supplemental book 3, which is Diaz and Patterson. Patterson's a great artist. Diaz is the writer. If you haven't heard about it, Diaz is working on the Del Keown Pitt series. Yes, he's bringing Pitt back, and I hear they're doing an omnibus with the old books. So, we shall see what happens. And there's even a saying that Ethan Van Sciver will publish. We don't know which is true. I've heard both. So no matter what happens, Pitt will be great. Diaz does his own book. I think The Silhouette was his latest. And it's quite good, I'm told. Haven't backed it myself, but hey, you know, you look at all the art and you take a look. This is combined 1 and 2, signed. All of my books are signed by John Malin. Then there's the Roquefort. This is the supplemental. Roquefort did a supplemental Vision books with several creators from CG, and they did a pinup book. I have to say, you look at these covers, that's a pretty amazing cover, I do say. But it's kind of hard. The one thing I don't like about self-sticking envelopes is sometimes they get stuck on the book. Now, this is the book 2 supplemental. So you've seen all 3 supplementals, and there's a book 4 too. This is the Huerta cover I told you about. Look at that work. Now, if you want to get these, make sure you back John Malin for a Megastone. It will be on Indiegogo. And look him up on YouTube. And of course, the art's fabulous. I backed all of them. The great series, great book. And what more can you want than Universal's Monster kicking butt? They're anti-heroes. Sometimes they do bad things like vaporize DC, and other times they save the world multiple times. You know, you get both sides. Have a good one, and subscribe to my channel if you like this content. Thanks.